That's the singer.
Only got one mom, you only got one star, you only got one life to live. Doesn't matter who you are, you can go the whole world over. Every city has its dawn, but everybody lives at one place where he was born. And mine is Njenga, so warm and wild and free. You'll always stay with me here in my heart. My land is Kenya, right from your highlands to the sea. You'll always stay with me here in my heart, here in my heart.
Patriotism has been defined as a love for one's homeland, fatherland, or motherland. Patriotism is a word that comes from Greek, from the word patris, which means father. So today I'm going to talk to you what I think patriotism means and how it differs from one country to the other. I'm going to talk about you my allegiance. I'm going to give you an overview of Kenya. I'm going to talk about the history, geography, the language, and the culture. So patriotism, as I've said, is a love, devotion for one's country. But this does not mean that we should be just blind in loving the country. We must also be able to challenge, and we must be able to speak against what we perceive to be ill against your fellow countrymen and against your fellow human beings. So if you're a patriot, you have a right and obligation to vote against those people who you perceive will make your country a better place. So in my country, we have that opportunity after every 5 years to vote in a whole new government from the president all the way to the local leaders. So my allegiance as I stand is to my country, Kenya. Owing to the fact that I moved to America about 3 years ago. I'm still trying to adapt. It looks very hard. But others who came before tell me the same thing they experienced when they came here. I used to read about culture shock, and I used to think it's something that I'm going to see which is going to shock me, which I would tell in my mind that I cannot be shocked by anything that I have to see. But I realize that culture shock is about your mind and your heart. It's very, very hard to adjust from one country to the other. But still, even though I owe my allegiance to my home country, doesn't mean that I in no way don't appreciate my being here in America. Because when you go back to other countries, everybody dreams about coming to America. Yeah, that's a dream very many people share. Even those whom we left behind, they always ask us, when am I coming to join you? It's as if the whole world wants to come to America. But we tell them different stories of what we see here, but still they don't hear from us. They say, we want to see what you're talking about. So I'm very proud to be in America. I've had very many opportunities, which hitherto I would not have had. I cannot talk about all of them. Kenya, for those who don't know geography very well, this is a
RGB.
That is a country, Kenya. It's on the eastern Africa, right? The eastern side of Africa. I can show you a map of Africa. That's Africa, and that is Kenya there. The whole of this side is the Eastern Africa. So Kenya is a country which is divided into 8 provinces, which would be the equivalent of counties here. Kenya, as you can realize, Kenya lies astride the equator. Right? The equator lies right across there. So it's very easy for you to drive from the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere in a couple of minutes. Well, America is on the northern hemisphere, and for you to go to the southern hemisphere, you'll have to fly. I think the nearest would be South America in Ecuador, yeah. But for me, I just take a 10-minute walk from the south, and I'll be in the northern hemisphere. Well, it's not different for me. So Kenya is an independent country, which gained its independence 46 years ago. It's a relatively new country. It's a democratic country. People are very free, almost as free as I see people here, because we're able to talk and criticize without any fear of reprisal. The geography of Kenya, the northern part is very arid, right? It's very dry, like Eastern Washington are here. But the southern side is just like Washington State on this side of here. Very rainy. I was not surprised when I came here to experience the rain almost on a daily basis. I come from a place where it's very, very rainy, a lot of trees. Where I come from, it's also called timberland because there's a lot of trees, just like Washington State. When I came here in 2002 to visit my brother, where he used to live somewhere near in Tacoma, there was a place I would look at and I would tell him, that place looks like home. And he would tell me, that's what I also think, because when I look at those trees, I can almost see them back at home. It's very, very similar to Washington State. So in Kenya, we are a population of 42 million people. And these 42 million people are in very diverse tribes. Those are ethnic groups. And we have got all races, right? From Africa, from Asia, from America, from South America, from Australia. All of them are represented in Kenya. Kenya, due to its unique position, it's relatively stable and peaceful, unlike Somalia to the west, or unlike Ethiopia, or unlike Sudan, and relatively unlike Uganda, while Tanzania is very peaceful. So in Kenya we speak 3 languages. English, that's the official language with which you go to school with, from grade school up to higher learning. You also speak Swahili, which is a language which is spoken in the whole of East Africa by about 50 million people. Swahili also is spoken in part of the eastern side of Africa, bordering the Congo. Even though the Congo speak French, and the southern part, some people who speak German, and the northern people who speak a little bit of Italian. Why there are those influences of languages is due to the former colonizers.